Hi parents and students. I wanted to make a quick video to kind of explain to you how our math is going to be working this year. I've talked to some of you I haven't met with at all yet. So I wanted to start off by saying first that on my website under the grading tab, and my website is katiericks.weebly.com, there is some information about proficiency-based grading, and that's the type of grading system we're going to be using for math this year in the whole school, all of Driggs. And as far as basic information about how, why, the reasoning behind it, that would be a great place for you to start. There's a video, I think it's like 3 minutes long, that will give you a little bit of an overview, and I'm not going to touch on that because there's already a resource there for you. I want to explain a little bit more about how it's going to work specifically in my class. So, excuse me. So there are 9 standards that we're going to be working on in the first term, the first few months of school, and they focus on adding and subtracting within 1,000, rounding, patterns of addition, and then a little bit of stuff with data like bar graphs, and then into multiplication a little bit. So the way that our grading is going to work now is instead of me putting in like all of the assignments and tests and quizzes that we do, and then the percentage that students get on each of those, and then combining all of that to give you a letter grade, I'm just going to be doing assessments. So, excuse me. I want to know how your kids are doing on rounding, which is one of the standards that we're doing this term. And the way that I've started doing it, and I think I'll continue because it seems to be working really well, is I'm going to give them a pre-assessment. So before I've taught them anything about rounding, I'm going to give them a quiz so that I can see, hey, which kids already know this and they don't need to be sitting through me spending 3 days talking about it, which kids really don't know it, and which kids kind of have a little bit of information. So I'm going to throw those scores onto Gradebook under the rounding standard, and that's going to be the first assessment for that standard. And it's probably going to be a lower score for most kids. There are 3 assessments that I have to put in for each standard. And the second assessment that I've done for rounding already, you have gotten a picture of on Dojo, and I sent it home with your student today. So the second assessment is also in on Gradebook. And the third one will likely be the chapter test. Now, a couple of really cool things about performance-based grading. Some of your students already today, yesterday I saw their scores on the second assessment for rounding. The kids who still didn't get it completely did a reteach lesson with me. And then I gave them another quiz today, and if they did better on that quiz, or if they didn't do better, but I replaced the score on yesterday's assessment with today's assessment for those kids. So one of the kind of tenets of performance-based grading is that you get to reassess. If the kid wants to go home and learn something and come back and show you they know it, awesome. I'm going to give them credit for that. I'm going to go in and say, hey, this kid knows this now. So multiple opportunities for assessment is one of the basic tenets. And the way our system works is you have to have 3 opportunities. So, and they make it more of the grade the farther along you've gotten. So the pre-assessment that I did at the beginning, once I have 3 assessments in there, that pre-assessment is only going to count for like 4% of their grade. And I'm going to see how those turn out this first time. Once I have 3 assessments in, it doesn't populate with a real score until after I have 3, so I can't quite see what it's going to look like since this is brand new for us. But that score really shouldn't affect them so much. The other thing that I need to really explain for you guys, and there's probably other things I'm leaving out and I'll have to do a follow-up, but the other really important thing is the way that our scores are going to look to you. You're going to be seeing things like 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. You're gonna see them all over the place. You've been seeing them in their planner for their behavior. You're gonna see them on these quizzes that are coming home today. You're hopefully hearing your students talk about them. And the first thing you need to know is a 3 means they have met 3rd grade expectations. Whatever the state has written out as the standard, if your kid can do that, they are a 3. So I'm not even going to analogize that to an ABCD system because it's not the same, but a 3 is good. A 3 is you can do 3rd grade material. It means proficient. A 4 is not what we used to think of as an A. A lot of your kids probably came home with a lot of A's last year, and that's not the same thing as a 4. A 4 means that you were able to show that you were highly proficient by doing some sort of project. Now, that right now is looking like a student that did super well on that first pre-assessment, and I gave them a project to work on during class. And if they can complete that and really show me that they understand this standard on a completely deeper level, then they would be a 4. 4s are not common. 4s should not be expected in all content areas or even any content areas. 3s are to be celebrated. 3s mean your kid has it and they understand what they're supposed to have for 3rd grade. 4s are rare. I tell the kids, I'm not even a 4 in all the areas that I teach. I wouldn't consider myself a 4 in everything that I do because as humans, as people, we tend to focus on things that we're really passionate about. And we can't be a 4 everywhere. I can't be a level 4 teacher in everything that I do because that would mean that I went above and beyond and I put a ton of myself and my energy into those things, and I can't do that for everything. I only have 24 hours in a day. So your kids aren't going to be getting 4s everywhere either. It's just not going to happen. This year we're only doing proficiency-based grading in math, so it's a little bit different, but please, please don't expect your kids to be getting 4s, and please don't ask your kids why they're not getting 4s, because like I told them, a 4 for behavior means that you saved a child from getting hit by a bus or something like that that's really above and beyond. So that's going to be a paradigm shift for all of us that have been surviving and growing up in this grades A, B, C, D, F based system. It's a huge change for us. Okay, so I'm going to check this video out. I'm sure there will be a follow-up that I'll have to do. And if you have any questions, please send me a question in Dojo or send me an email or set up an appointment to come and talk to me. But I hope this really helps, and I hope you'll be able to look at this as an opportunity to help see exactly where your kids need help and to also see where your kids have it. Check out that other video that's already on my website. That is going to help you understand really the reasoning behind it and the mastery kind of model that we're doing. So hope this helps, and I hope that you are going to be game for these changes and excited about how this is going to help your kids really take charge of their own learning.